Thank you very much, PS for Petroleum Mohammed Riban, my good friend, the CEO of Kenya Pipeline, Joel Sang, Madam Wajiko Manyara, CEO of PIEA, representative from all stakeholders, KRA, all the participants, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm very pleased to be here today to welcome you all, first of all, to this venue, the Kenya School of Government. When Wanjiko Manyara approached me and told me that she needed my help to get together this conference, I said yes, but on a condition. The condition was that this conference must be held at this Kenya School of Government, which falls under my ministry. So first I'm here as a landlord, and I'm a very happy one. And I am speaking to very happy customers and tenants. So welcome to the Kenya School of Government, where our core business is to manufacture leaders. And nobody is here by accident. You are all here as leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, as part of our strategic agenda as government is that by the year 2030, we have to achieve a forest cover of 10% and a tree cover of 30%. That is our stated objective of the government of Kenya. And we have every intention to achieve that agenda. Unfortunately, that agenda is compromised and frustrated by the continued destruction of our tree cover and our forest cover as a means and as a source of energy. So the conversation you're having here is paramount and very important for us as government of Kenya as we embark on this journey of ensuring there is no conflict between our environmental objectives and the needs of our people. That is a crossroad for which you occupy. Because when I look at you, I see solution. I see how can I be able to achieve the twin objectives between ensuring that our people have got affordable, accessible, and most important, clean source of energy, while at the same time achieving our objectives to attain the 10% forest cover and the 30% tree cover by the year 2030. And so therefore, I want to commend all of you and assure you of the maximum support and cooperation and commitment of the government of Kenya under the chair of the African Climate Action Heads of State, President William Ruto, who has distinguished himself not only as an African champion, but also as a global champion on matters to do with cleaner environment and climate action. So feel very much welcome. As we speak, ladies and gentlemen, we are not doing very well in this country. Our per capita LPG consumption is in the region of 5-point-something kg. That is very bad news. The good news is that we are the best in Africa. That's the good news. That whereas we are not doing well, at least just compared to our neighbors, we are doing very well. And it is truth. I can understand why Africa would lag behind in this climate and clean energy transition. Africa contributes only 1% of global carbon emissions. We only receive 1.5% of green energy investment for a continent that has got 14% of the world mass in terms of surface area. For a continent that accounts for 22% of the global population, we are getting the low end of the stick. And that's a conversation for which we must have. We populate the least, we pay the heaviest. Be it in terms of drought. Kenya, for example, is the only country where we have got a period of drought and animals in the year 2023 alone, because of the worst drought that we had in 40 years. We lost animals to the tune of $1.8 billion US. Those are not animals from rich people. They are animals from poor people. So you can start to imagine the people who are paying the price for this reckless action by the privileged few of us are the poor, the most marginalized, the most vulnerable, the most disadvantaged in our society. How I would wish that that kind of wealth was lost by the other tiers of society. But unfortunately, because of climate action, because of our reckless actions and failure, missteps in taking care of our environment, Africa, and especially the poor, continue to pay the highest price for our misadventures. Then, after the spell of the drought and these unacceptable laws, we moved to a period of flooding. So we are the only people who die from drought. Then the next day we die from flooding in the same year. That is really the unfortunate story of Africa. And so therefore, despite the fact that we are the people who are offended, despite the fact that it is easy for us to claim victimhood and say that the responsibility for taking care of the environment belongs to people who are more privileged, people in the global north, we have accepted and taken it upon ourselves to take leadership. That is why the president has been in all conversations, be it within the African Union, where he is the chair of the African Heads of State on Climate Action, be it in COP27 and COP28, where Kenya has taken a firm leadership, be it in the very successful African Climate Summit, which took place in Nairobi in September of 2023, be it in the form of the kind of strategic leadership that we are taking in topics such as LBG penetration. We continue to believe that although in normal circumstances, in a normal day, we should be the victim, but actually what we have agreed is that the victim is going to take the front line in terms of action. Never mind the fact that these laws, these consequences were created more proportionately elsewhere than in Kenya. We refuse to be the victims. That is why the government of Kenya has taken very deliberate step in terms of ensuring that we are going to raise our per capita consumption of LPG from 5.2 kg to 15 kg in just the next 3 years. That is a firm resolve, that's a firm commitment of the government of Kenya to be able to push this consumption threefold just within the next 3 years. How will we do that? Already we've taken a lot of tax measures, a lot of concessions. In the Finance Bill 2023, we did give unimaginable concessions to the LPG users and consumers. This year, as we go to next year, we are embarking on a very ambitious project supported by our partners who also share the same objectives, to actually ensure that we are able to give subsidized. And I think I'm being very modest here, because the actual objective is to give an LPG cylinder for free to every home. And that is a journey which I'm very certain, I'm very sure that we are going to achieve. And so, as we do this and triple the consumption of our LPG from 5 to 15 kg, I think that Kenya will have stamped its praise and its position in this conversation. Let me finish by saying that although the government is going to play its role, I've got the Kenya pipeline here, our petroleum refinery, and our deliberate decision to actually team up Kenya Petroleum Corporation, the Kenya Petroleum Refineries Limited, to be able to replicate the very wonderful success that we have had on the petroleum space, on the fuel oils, on our diesel, on our petrol, our G2G program, our government-to-government program with certain partners, to have the same kind of order. You cannot have penetration of LPG unless we create order in this market. So, but luckily, as a country, we've had very good success. Our success in our open tender system, our success in the now G2G is going to be a very good foundation and a very good reference point and a benchmark as we now try to replicate that success in our LPG space. Because there cannot be trust, there cannot be confidence unless there is order. And so, as government, I want to relate to you our commitment, the commitment of President William Ruto, to ensure that if having order, playing by the book, the rule of law, compliance, if these are the ingredients that are going to build the confidence of our people, to have trust. PS has said that one of the issues is trust and confidence of our people, or safety. May I add, it's not just safety. It must be perception of safety. It is not safety until our people believe it's safe. And for our people to believe it's safe, there has to be order, there has to be strict compliance to the rule of law to ensure that there's a level playing field for all the players. And let me say this, especially as a Kenyan, as an African. We owe it to the future generations to teach our children and to tell them that there is no country, there is no nation, there is no world unless we follow the rule of law. In Africa, for you to survive, you have to be above average. In other parts of the world, you can just be average and get along. What is the difference? Because in other parts of the world, the rule of law guarantees a livelihood and a sustenance and a future for every child. We cannot continue to jostle and demonstrate and riot and continue defending, shortcuts and other means other than meritocracy, the rule of law, fair playing field, law and order. I was actually shocked. Something I saw on the social media yesterday. Some kids saying that they were demonstrating because the government is invoking Data Protection Act, and they want to stop government from using, data and mobile, technology from stopping people who are avoiding paying taxes. Come on. You mean people are going now in Africa to the streets to demonstrate against following the rule of law, against doing what is right? And I want to send a message to Africans and to Kenyans. These are our children. If they are doing it for the country today, tomorrow they will do it for your home, they will do it for you as a family, and this, for me, is not a legacy I'm ready to bequeath my children, where I tell them that it's right, it's morally acceptable to break the law, it is morally acceptable to escape following what is legal. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, let me take this opportunity to welcome you to Kenya and to wish you very fruitful deliberations. I thank you.